Hi, I'm Dave Waddell. I've worked for the past 30 years helping schools improve the environmental health and safety of their science, art, and technology programs. As an offshoot of this, I've helped amateur and professional artists stay healthy and protect the environment while creating vibrant art.
In this video, we're going to be talking about proper waste disposal for jewelers. So how do you dispose of jewelry waste? Well, the first thing to understand is any chemicals you have may have limited disposal options. So the very first thing you need to know is what is in your container, because you cannot dispose of an unlabeled, unknown product properly because you don't know what it is and what the hazards are. So the first thing to decide is whether you can still use your product, because our recommendation would be if you've paid the money to use something, then try to use it up. But if you can't use it anymore, or you don't want it anymore, or you don't even know what it is anymore, or somebody gave it to you, or you found it, or it's something that's spilled and you've cleaned up and it's no longer useful, then you're looking at something that's a waste. So the next question is it hazardous? Well, if the stuff that was spilled or that showed up or that you no longer need has the word corrosive or toxic or flammable or reactive or danger on it, then it's probably hazardous. There are plenty of chemicals that are not hazardous waste. Anything you could still use is not considered hazardous waste. If you've completely emptied your containers of jewelry products, those empty containers are exempt from the hazardous waste regulations and can be thrown in the trash. And then, of course, there's a lot of things that are very hazardous but aren't chemicals, like knives and ninja cats. And those, you don't have to worry about chemical disposal options for those. Just be really careful around them. So how do you dispose of any solvents that you're working with? So again, if you have an empty container of a solvent, that can be thrown in the trash. Otherwise, check the label of the product for words like caution or warning or danger, flammable, fatal, or poison. If any of those words are on the container, then we want you to dispose of that container that contains some of that material as a hazardous waste. What about contaminated towels that had some of this stuff on it? As long as they're not dripping acid or solvent, it's okay for you to throw those in the trash. You may want to let the solvents dry, hang it up over a line outside to let it dry out before you throw it in. Any hazardous chemicals that you've got here in King County must be disposed of as hazardous waste. If you're a business, jewelry business, then you'll need to work through our small business hazardous waste disposal program. There's phone numbers on the slide here that you can call, or you can just look for the local hazardous waste management programs, Business Wasteline, or hazardous waste disposal on our website and find out how to do it there. Some of the hazardous jewelry waste that you may have include spent pickle, no longer used or useful flux, any waste acid or unused acid you want to dispose of, patinas, solvents and thinners, and again, any products that have danger or warning on the label that you no longer want are probably going to be hazardous jewelry waste. What we want you to do is handle those waste properly before you dispose of them. So very carefully store them. You may want to write the word waste on it to remind you that they need to go. And then if you're going to transport it over to our facilities, we want you to keep them in closed containers that won't, if they tip over, won't leak. And you should have some spill materials handy, just some kitty litter or something like that in case something should tip over. And then we do recommend that you not carry it right next to you in the passenger space of your car. So you can deliver your waste to our drop-off sites. It's free in King County. If you're just a hobbyist, you don't need to contact our business wasteline to make an appointment or anything like that. We do ask that you bring a list of what you've got, and we really want your product containers labeled clearly so we know exactly what it is. So again, our business wasteline number, if you're a business jeweler, is 206-263-8899. And if you have any questions about household hazardous waste, like your hobby waste for your jewelry hobby or other waste, you can call our household hazards line at 206-296-4692. And this is in King County, Washington. The reason we say don't deliver your waste in the passenger compartment is if you do have a bunch of chemicals in the passenger compartment of your car, like these folks who had 5 gallons of white latex paint in their car, and you get in a fender bender, you could look like them, which is kind of funny if you're looking at non-toxic latex paint, but it's not very funny if you're looking at corrosive acids in glass bottles or something like that. it's much better to have them securely stored either in your trunk or in a trailer behind your car or in a pickup bed, hopefully with a canopy over it, since it does rain a fair amount here around Seattle, and bring them that way. That way, in case there is an accident, then these things may break, but there's going to be a barrier between you and the chemicals that you're bringing with you. And that's the end of our short little talk about protecting yourself from corrosives. These are compounds that we tend to be a little more relaxed about when we've worked with them for a long time. But realize that these things can really burn your skin and your lungs and your eyes, and you need to protect yourself.
To learn more about chemical hazards in schools, visit doh.wa.gov/school environment.